Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Warframe. In today's episode, we're actually going to go over a melee weapon. At the time of recording, Grendel is not out yet. Otherwise, it probably would have been a video for Grendel. My assumption is next week he's probably going to be out. So we can probably do him then. But, we're going to do my melee weapon. I say my melee weapon because it's the one that I use on pretty much everything for the most part, unless I'm leveling or want to have some fun. But this is actually a Zor, and I was getting some questions by people asking what it was and what my build was for it. So I thought I'd go over it in a video, just to make it a bit easier for everybody, so I can like point people back if they ever need to know in the future. But it is essentially a heavy blade with a scythe head, essentially. I can go over the specific parts of it right now. Also, the build I'm going to be doing for the testing on this is just Mesa with all the survivability. Arcane Aegis, Arcane Grace, Umbral Fiber, Umbral Vitality, Health Conversion, Quick Thinking, Gladiator Resolve, Prime Flow, so she's probably not going to die. And we have Energy Siphon here just so that we're not getting rid of armor, so you can see the true effect of the blade without armor stripping. But the blade itself is the Vajitjai 2 Link, the Strung Grip, which is the heavy blade grip, and the Dokram Blade, which is this kind of scythe blade that they have here. So that's the actual parts if you want to build it. And the builds I have for it are multiple, in fact. It's worth noting the actual scythe itself, I got the idea of Brozime, because he actually was using one for quite a long time, and I saw a stream where he was using it. If he has a build video for it, I'll actually link that in the description. I haven't seen one from him, but I'm sure he probably does have one. And I'm not sure how similar our builds will be. If I were to guess, he probably uses Drifting Contact more than I do, because he tends to do that, and I don't. He pays far more attention to combo than I do. But this is my first build, it's just straight crit. We have Prime Pressure Point, Prime Reach for a bunch of range, Blood Rush so that your critical chance goes up with combo multiplier, Berserk so when you get criticals you attack faster, Sacrificial Steel for a bunch of critical chance, Organ Shatter for a bunch of critical damage, Gladiator Might for more critical damage, and Maiming Strike so we can spin to win and get that extra crit on slide attacks. And we have Exodia Epidemic, which increases the duration that enemies are spending in the air. So after you bullet jump or double jump, if you do a slam attack, it's a shockwave that will suspend all the enemies in the air. And as you can see here, they'll be suspended for like 4 seconds with this currently, which is fairly significant. So it's like a mini Rhino Stomp essentially. The enemies just kind of get stuck into the air. It's cool. I have that on all my builds. My second build here is a Condition Overload build with Radiation Viral Damage. We have Prime Pressure Point, Prime Reach, Condition Overload, and what Condition Overload does is it adds additional melee damage, 60% per status that the enemy is affected with. So you can see here we have about 47% status chance, so we're going to be doing Viral procs and Radiation procs, and if they're proc with both of them, then Condition Overload is doing an extra 120% damage, and they're likely going to get other status procs from my other weapons and other abilities, so that goes up even higher. Essentially, it will do quite a bit of damage. We have Prime Fury for attack speed. We have Vicious Frost and Virulent Scourge, Volcanic Edge and Voltaic Strike for the status plus status chance mods. So electricity plus status, heat plus status, toxin plus status, and cold plus status. Which gets us that 47.6 status chance. Which isn't all that high, but it hits fast enough that I'm not really worried. Also, Tempo Royale I use on all of these. That's just the stance I like on heavy blades. Works quite well. And my third one is kind of a hybrid. That works between the two. I honestly don't use it that often, but it's actually probably better. This gives you kind of a bit of crit, slightly less crit damage, but you have the same crit chance, and you have a bunch of status chance as well, and you're doing viral damage. So this one works fairly well, to be honest. You get quite a lot. Today I'll just do the crit build, because why not? I'll do the test on level 100 enemies. 100 is really where this melee weapon starts to fall off when it comes to the heavy units. It can eat through them. There we go. I'll survive forever now. It can get through them, most definitely. And fodder enemies, just nothing. Notice the spinning attacks here. Do about 1 billion damage. Kind of just eats the fodder enemies. And the range on this is somewhat ridiculous. Particularly with Prime Reach on there. But there you go. You see, the heavy guys still take a bit. Unless you match their status. I think that's all of them. Unless there's a bombard hanging around, but I think I killed him. So it does work. Granted, pretty much all melee weapons do work in this game. Alright, so we're back. Sorry about that. So... that took a while. So that's the build for my melee weapon. So if you see me using this melee weapon, that's the build. I like it a lot. I think probably technically it falls behind, like, the Galatine Prime as far as, like, damage, but it's still really, really good, and the range is fucking ludicrous. It can just wipe a room. That's the main good part about it. Like, the Galatine Prime has some range. This has some fucking range. Particularly with Prime Reach on it, it just, like, you do a spin attack, it just hits, like, the room. It's ludicrous. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye, guys.